Thank you. Thank you. Good to be here.
How special is it for you to come back here?
Oh, it's awesome. It's, I mean, I got goosebumps driving in yesterday. Actually, I came into the rink to do something, and, it was an amazing feeling. And still, walking down the hallway there, seeing the guys, it's brings back a lot of good memories.
Have you seen your photo up in the locker room yet?
No, I just got made fun of from the boys. That's about it.
The first time you walked in that locker room and saw all those faces up there, what impact did it have on you?
Yeah, it's one of those things you go in and you obviously hear and you know the legends that played here, and you sit down in the stalls and you look up and it's just like guy after guy that just had amazing careers and were great people and role models. So it's a cool feeling to be up there, even though I'm going to get ripped by the boys for a while.
You know you're right above the goalies, huh?
Oh yeah, yeah. That's I guess I don't know.
Did you have a chance to meet a few guys yesterday, maybe a dinner or something?
Yeah. I went for dinner with Susie and Andy. Yeah.
What would you like the fans to remember about you?
I don't know. Whatever they want, I guess. I came here, I poured my heart out. I tried to help the city win Stanley Cup, and obviously we were very close, and that one hurts a lot, but I did everything I could to put pride in that uniform and leave it out there for the fans in the city of Montreal.
A lot of young players in this dressing room, when they speak about you, they speak about role model, important role models. That's what Nick said. How proud are you to have this impact on young players that you made during your career?
Yeah, that means a lot to me because I had great older guys when I came in the league, and that's something that I kind of took pride in. As I started getting older, I said I wanted to do that. I wanted to help make it easier on younger guys. I wanted to help, whether it was giving them a place to stay, whether it was taking them out for meals or whatever. It's just I wanted to be a role model for guys like players were for me early on in my career.
I know you had a bit of a grin when you thanked David Poile in your Hall of Fame speech for allowing you to sort of play in Montreal. But when you got that call from him about the trade, how much of a shock was that to you? I mean, you just won the Messier Leadership Award, and you were settled in Nashville, and sort of your whole world, I guess, was pulled out from under you.
I mean, you guys all knew it before me. I think that was the biggest shock, because I found out probably an hour after everyone else did, and a little bit of a heads up would have been nice, but I mean, it's in the past now, and now we're in the Hall of Fame together. So
have you been able to manage all the emotions you've been through the last few days, few weeks, ever since you went to the Hall of Fame and everything?
Have I been what, sorry?
Have you been able to manage all the emotion and get all of this?
I think, it's been a lot. It definitely has been, and it's a good thing. I'm very proud and honored to have been able to do it. I wouldn't change it for anything, but it's definitely, it's emotionally draining for sure. It's a special thing, but it takes a toll on you.
Welcome back to Montreal.
Thank you.
How would you describe the difference between leading on a team that you were brought up with, like that you grew up in, and leading on a team where you were like transplanted?
Yeah, I mean, I think that just kind of goes with how long you've been somewhere. I mean, if you're drafted and you're the captain the first year, you haven't really set a foundation yet either. So it would be the same thing getting traded to a team and you're there for a couple of years to kind of help lay the foundation and the core leadership group. So I think it kind of goes based off of time somewhere. Obviously, it's different. It's a different feeling for you're homegrown and drafted and captain for them, but there's also a different feeling when you put on a jersey as a captain after the leaders that were, the Bellevaux, the Richards, the Cornway. I mean, go down the list. It's just different feeling as well.
But when you arrived with the Canadiens, did you feel like you could be completely yourself right from the start, or it took like an adaptation period?
I mean, you try not to change yourself. I was trying to be myself. I was trying to support Patch as much as I could because he was the captain. I didn't come in here saying I wanted to be the captain. I told him, I said, you're the captain. I'm going to support you, whatever you need. So I didn't change anything that way, but there is still an adaptation period a little bit. There's new staff, there's new management, there's new trainers, so there's a little bit of a learning curve getting in and getting to know your teammates and friends and stuff too.
After hockey, Shea, what is your next challenge?
I don't know. That's still got another year after this to figure it out, I guess. Not sure exactly. Like I've looked at doing some stuff in the development side, and right now I'm so busy coaching. I don't know if I have time for anything else yet.
Coaching kids.
Yeah.
Living in Nashville, obviously a lot different than living in Montreal for a hockey player. Shea, once you did get settled here, what did you enjoy about living in Montreal, apart from the hockey part?
I loved
being
it.
in the
I mean, the restaurants here are amazing. The culture of the city is amazing. The fans are passionate. Like, they love it. They know everything about the game. I mean, it was like one of those adaptation periods. It was different for sure because Nashville is a much different city, but our family loved it here.
Michel asked you earlier about emotions. Do you believe that the presentation before the game on the ice might be the most emotional part of that week?
Sure could be, yeah. I mean, last week was pretty wild too. It's a amazing thing, but first time back here, there's going to be some emotions for sure.
You said that you miss the dressing room, but you miss the fans sometimes.
Not as much as JR, as he said in Toronto, but definitely without the fans, we wouldn't be where we are. We wouldn't have these games. We wouldn't have the excitement. The fans are what kind of drive the sport. So definitely miss the fans.
Shea, what do you miss most about playing, and how difficult is it to wrap your mind around the fact you can't play again, especially when it was injuries that ended it? It wasn't like you said, okay, I've had enough.
Yeah, I miss being on the ice. Like I could skate on the ice every day, just mess around, and obviously I love shooting pucks. Like that was my favorite thing to do when I play. If I get a chance in the kids' practices to rip a one-timer, I'm going to try and rip a one-timer.
Make sure the kid's out of the
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, you had so many of your teammates here who came in from Buffalo day after they played the game to come support you and be there. What did it mean to have those guys and management too here to support you?
Yeah, it was amazing. I told them, I was like, I couldn't believe that you guys were there. Like, it means so much to me that Jeff set that up, and they all wanted to come. And I mean, Petrie and Sherratt were there too, and they had to come from Detroit. It's not like they didn't have to. They don't have to come. Like, that means so much to me as because I love my teammates. I love my teammates I played with, and I tried to build those bonds and relationships. And obviously, they still like me enough to drive a couple hours.
with all the injuries. Sorry, go ahead.
Which Jeff are you referring to, just to clarify?
Molson.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure he was probably the one that kind of spearheaded getting all the guys there from Buffalo, is what I'm assuming.
With all the injuries you played for in that Cup final, it's remarkable. When you look back, are you shocked yourself that you were able to keep playing with everything that was wrong with you?
No, I don't know. That one's a tough one for me because I obviously said all that stuff last week, and I was like, the last thing I want is for people to feel bad for me. I didn't say that because I was like, I don't want you guys to feel bad for me playing through all that. That was just, I was kind of irritated at the question again, so I kind of went through all the things I had, and like I said, hockey has given me so much to be grateful for, and I laid it all out. Like, I did whatever it took, especially during that run, because we were so close, and it was getting to that point where you're willing to literally not be able to walk to help the team.
I know that you're a humble person, but can you say today I had a great career?
It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was pretty good.
What do you feel about what you did?
Yeah, I'm just proud that I was able to play for as long as I did. I mean, you look at, I think they were talking about something the other day, how many guys have played 1,000 games, and it's not as many as you would think. Like, I thought there was way more. So I'm proud to be able to say that I made it that long, and the way I played too. So that's probably what I'm most proud of.
In hindsight, Shea, with the injuries you had, do you have some regret that maybe you didn't take more time? I think back that broken foot you suffered early one season. That seemed to lead to a lot of the problems that came out. If I'm not mistaken.
That's one thing that I guess we'll never know, right? We got that checked out sooner. Maybe you take your 2 weeks off, 3 weeks off there, and then it's not 6 months. It's not the next year, and then hopefully I'm still playing. Like, could still be playing now, but that's a tough one. Being in it and wanting to play, and it's one of those things. Yeah, in hindsight, it probably would have been a lot smarter just to take 2 weeks off. But from what we got in the X-ray and at the rink, it showed nothing. So I just said, let's deal with it, I guess.
There's a lot of talk about the market in Montreal, how, with the attention that the club is subject to, it can be a lot. Is there something that you found difficult playing here?
Yeah, it's like anywhere though. It's difficult when things aren't going well, and I think that's whether it's here, whether it's in Nashville, or whether it's in Columbus. It's not easy. Mentally, it's tough. It's draining. You're trying to find answers, and you learn a lot about your teammates at those points though too. And even talking with some of the guys, I said it's a long season, and if you can get through these things, it's actually makes you better off down the road, not just this year, but going forward when you get back in those situations, because they always happen.
Did you expect worse?
Pardon?
In that regard, did you expect this market to be worse than what you've experienced?
Oh,
Given the reputation it had?
I don't really know I didn't know what to expect. Obviously, I knew there was a lot of exposure and attention, and we would only come in once a year, I think, back then. So see you guys for one pregame skate and one game, and then I was out. So I didn't really know what to expect.
I know when you're named captain, Shea, you talked about sort of the impact your dad had on you, and quiet guy like you, man, a few words. But what would he say about his son in the Hall of Fame?
It was pretty amazing this weekend. Actually, he was around the whole time, and he was hanging out with me and my old teammates, my friends from home, and just telling stories. And I think he was proud. I know he was proud. He does not want to say it, but I think he had, like, every night he's like, I got to go to bed, and he just sat there with us telling stories and listening to stories, and I think it was a great weekend for him.
Is he here tonight also?
No, they were in Spain for 3 weeks before they came to Toronto, and he was beat. He needed to go home and sleep. So
I know that when you were named for the Hall of Fame, you mentioned during a Zoom call that you kept in touch with Nick, and that even in the off season sometimes you would talk. Is there recently, have you been able to talk to him and give him a piece of advice, judging just by the way things are right now for this team?
Yeah, a little bit. I talked to him in Toronto there briefly, and then last night we had dinner, so I was able to chat with him for a little bit longer, and I just made it clear to him again. I said, don't be afraid to call or reach out, and no pressure. Don't feel like you have to, but I'm just here to listen. Even if you want to vent for a half hour, you can just spit things at me. So.
You also you were also named the captain, pretty young, in your mid-20s, in a locker room with guys that were older than you. I'm sure at 23 you would not call out guys like guys like this. So,
yeah.
Like when did you start becoming comfortable applying this leadership and speaking out? And
Yeah, it took a little bit of time for sure. Like you said, I think there was, like, if I had a 43-year-old teammate with 3 kids and I'm going to tell you what to do, it's like it's an awkward thing. But as I talked to him about it too, I said, guys respect you, and I had to learn that a little bit. And Barry Trotz is really good with me and talking to me about that. And our older guys were like, "Don't be afraid to do it." They kind of gave me the confidence to do it too, and it kind of grew as I went on. I wouldn't say it was right away, but it kind of helped me. Those guys really helped me realize that it's not like you don't dislike somebody. You just want what's best for the team, right? It's not a personal thing. It's just trying to help what's the betterment of the team.
I know when you were here, Shea, you started to think about sort of the guys, especially on the road, packing their own bags, taking a step out. When did you start that? I don't think that's something you started as a rookie in Nashville. Like, when is that something you started doing that you thought would be important?
I always carried my bag. Yeah, when I was young, I don't know. We didn't have as many staff in Nashville too, so I was like, why do these guys have to haul my bag? And I've done it my whole life. What's different now? So I don't know. I just kept doing it, and then as I got older, I got more annoyed with it. If guys didn't do it, because I just figured the same kind of thing. I'm like, it takes you 2 seconds, like 10 seconds to take it down the hallway and drop it off. And these guys got to take our bags. They got to go to the hotel. We go to the hotel. They go to the rink. They empty our bag for us. And like, the least we can do is just make life easier on them.
Just after you were inducted, I think also in that Zoom call, you had mentioned maybe still, being in touch with Utah, potentially, obviously, about now they're in development. I know you say you're still chasing your kids around, but is there any possibility or any still talks with them?
Yeah, there's a possibility. I don't know. There's nothing imminent right now. We'll figure that out as it goes. There's nothing right imminent, but if an opportunity presents itself, I'll definitely take a look at it.
Merci, Shea.
Thank you very much.